Are you ready? Let's go. The Legend of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Part 1, Chapter 8, Surface. When he spoke, he sounded as if he was in his early to mid-40s, and seemed to possess a mystical merge of every accent imaginable, as if he had been around the world twice. It made him sound wise, but mysterious, and like he simply didn't belong to anyone or anywhere. April was once again led through the vast sewer network. She took this time to ask how and why the turtles were mutants. She received no answer, and so instead asked why his sons were turtles when he was clearly not. The rat mutant insisted that she ask no further questions, adding that he was rather uncomfortable with what she knew so far. When he and April reached the surface, the rat then turned to April and gave her a small walkie-talkie-like device. If we ever need you, we will give you a call on this device. It could be too dangerous to use a normal line. Me and my sons must stay in contact with the outside world, and I feel that you will be of great use to us. I apologise for Leonardo pointing his swords at you, and Raphael kidnapping you, and April interrupted. Please don't apologise. This is the most interesting thing that has ever happened to me, Mr. Call me Master Splinter, he said with a final smile, as he pulled up a manhole cover and slid silently back into the darkness of the ghastly sewers. The turtles, meanwhile, were discussing recent events over a large, shared pepperoni pizza at the kitchen table of the lair. Okay, let me get this straight. You went up to the surface? This is totally bodacious, dude! Michelangelo beamed, completely ensconced in the story. His brother was a hero in his eyes, lord of the surface. He stuffed a large slice of pizza into his mouth and practically inhaled it as he considered how brave Raphael must have been to go where no mutant turtle had gone before. I was just curious. We hear so much about the surface and it sounds so awesome. But if you want my opinion, it's even dirtier than the sewers. I still don't get why humans litter. There are so many trash cans and dumpsters up there. Not only that, but it was far colder than I thought it would be. It was snowing when I went, Raphael mused. I still don't think you should have brought April here, Leonardo said to Donatello. She could tell others about us, you know. Lighten up, Mikey suggested happily. Splinter had been very meticulous about the procedure of letting his sons return to the surface for the first time since their mutation, and had examined each one of them in every possible way. He had tested them on virtually all their previously learnt techniques of ninjutsu, had made them learn the geography of New York, not just the city but the entire state, and just to prove that they were not ready after all, had pointed out that they did not work well as a team. Splinter had proven this through giving them a simple teamwork exercise. The task was to work out a series of clues hidden around the lair which would eventually lead them to a hidden symbol. Michelangelo got bored and wandered off halfway through. Donatello kept talking, which annoyed Raphael enough to make him deliberately trip up Donatello, who then fell into the cupboards of the kitchen, nearly breaking his arm. And as a result, Splinter sent Raphael to his bedroom, and Donatello then got distracted by thinking about what numbers would be like in a base 6 format and forgot about the task entirely, accidentally letting Leonardo do all the remaining work to figure out the secret symbol was a purple pentagon, which was on a post-it note that had been stuck on the bottom of a carton of milk in the fridge. In the end, it was Splinter's decision to only allow Leonardo up to the surface for 1 hour on a Wednesday evening with his accompaniment. This change of plans was met with different reactions by each of the turtles. Michelangelo had accepted this with an external frown but internal glee because, in truth, he was terrified of the prospect of seeing the human world. Being the most impressionable of the turtles, his father's words of warning had stuck with him, and he decided to stay dreaming about the surface rather than to try and visit it. On the other end of the spectrum, Raphael resented the choice his sensei had made for him. It was as if Master Splinter had always treated Leonardo as being more mature than him, which was even more painful because Raphael was a year older than Leonardo. As a result, Raphael tried to sneak out the following day. A tracker activated in Raphael's neck, Splinter found him and cut his journey short. Leonardo was neither happy nor sad about his father's choice. He simply didn't understand why he had been picked out of his brothers for this honour. He was grateful, but at the same time was aware of his father's favouritism towards him and that it was not boding well with his other brothers. Raphael had stopped talking to him altogether, and he'd begun to suspect that Donatello was trying even harder in training, possibly because he thought this was some kind of competition now between him and Leonardo. Even Michelangelo seemed downcast by Master Splinter's decision. Donatello, however, knew his tracker was not real, and he also knew that this was perhaps the only chance he would get to see April again. For some reason, even though he had only known April for barely 5 minutes, he felt a strong bond with her and knew he would deeply regret it for the rest of his life if he didn't try to contact her again. On Wednesday morning, Donnie used the family shared laptop, which had a cracked screen thanks to Raph being angry about the speed of the internet service in the sewers, to search for the girl called April O'Neil. He found her on Facebook, along with her address. 2 thoughts came to Donnie's mind. A, she was clearly naive for putting her address online, as any weirdo could find it. Evidence, one green weirdo from the sewers had done exactly that. And B, now he knew exactly where to find her. The conclusion was that evening, whilst Leonardo was with his father visiting the surface, Raphael was in his bedroom listening and singing poorly along to rock music coming from a brick-shaped and battered boombox, and Michelangelo was taking an afternoon meditation session, he would sneak out and see April. Right, Donnie thought to himself. I have an hour before Dad returns to the lair, and I need to reach April's apartment. Her apartment is 20 minutes away via walking, but it's almost impossible to navigate these sewers due to a lack of obvious landmarks. It's time to go to the surface. Come on, dude, you can do this, he voiced quietly.